Welcome back to the King Film Sports College Football Week 8 predictions, and let's get right into it with a recap of last week. We ended up going even 500, lost a half unit to the juice with the 10 plays there, so let's get into it with the first page of locks. And the first game we had Tulane-Memphis. Memphis unable to cover that one. Tulane pulls away. Then we had Florida at South Carolina. Cocktober there. Tough environment. Florida escapes with the win, ending a 1-7 run for Billy Napier and probably taking him off the hot seat for now. Completely big win for the Florida program. Tough environment there. Pretty much a brutal choke for South Carolina. Lots of missed opportunities there, so they come up short in that one. Wisconsin never had a chance against Iowa here. Hard to imagine this Wisconsin offense looking worse than it was. The Iowa defense is just locked down. They returned to the ranks this week. Washington had that early lead, but Oregon was storming back. A lot of questionable calls, but I honestly like the aggression throughout the game. I think Oregon had a good chance of getting that fourth down, which was just a tough play call. Good defense by Washington. I don't think the 40 or so yards where you punt it really matter. The field goal before half was an interesting decision, but I still kind of liked it. He was consistent, but Washington wins. Penix and the boys get it done in what was a good game. Could have been more high scoring by both teams, but some opportunities were missed on both sides. Then TAMU at Tennessee, and Tennessee -3 hits for us there. Without Wegman, this Texas A&M offense is just anemic. Tennessee really is not an explosive team at all either. A lot of running with Milton there, but a lot of people are putting a lot of the blame on Fisher here, and well, I think he does deserve it. With Wegman out and Johnson in, this offense is just turned into a clown show, and I think they've got a really tough schedule this year. That Bama game was the one they had to win. I thought they would. They couldn't. They don't come up there. And then Kansas at Oklahoma State. No betting lock there, but we get that one as Kansas falls short to the now rallying Cowboys. And this Big 12 just looks like it's Texas and Oklahoma's for the taking right now. Then we had elsewhere on the Saturday slate, betting lock, Air Force -9.5 against Wyoming. They were quite frankly fortunate to win that one. They're ranked now, but their strength of schedule is really easy. This is a very talented Air Force team. I wish they could have had maybe a Power 5 opponent at home like Wyoming did in Texas Tech, maybe even one on the road, but they do have two of their games coming up for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. I think they should be able to take that one down. Miami at North Carolina. Drake May, Tez Walker just went off in this game. North Carolina pulls away. The final score made it seem closer than it was at 10 points. Miami put a little window dressing in the fourth quarter there. UNC gets a great win. Miami returns home this week to play Clemson. Missouri at Kentucky. This did not hit. Missouri just blows up Kentucky on the road, and Kentucky has some rethinking to do after a tough two-loss stretch here. USC at Notre Dame. Notre Dame -2.5 was my free lock of the week that I gave to you guys, and they blow out USC. Caleb playing the worst game of his career. 3 picks, 2 fumbles. USC -5 on the turnover margin. Also lets in a touchdown on a kickoff return. So the defense didn't even really have a chance to be horrible. They were probably the bright spot in this one, only really gave up 7 to 10 points, depending on how you call it with the short fields and whatnot. So USC returns home to play Utah. We'll have a play on that one. UCLA at Oregon State. Oregon State -4.5. It covers easily. Dante Moore, another pick 6, and Oregon is able to prevail there. And then Duke blows up NC State at home. So a look at the betting locks record. We're still above 10 units on the year, 11.4, even after the negative half unit. Also, here are all the picks from the Discord. As a reminder, check out the Discord. We had another winning day in the NFL. We're hitting a boatload of units over the past 2 weeks, so I definitely recommend that you guys check that out in the top right. And without further ado, let's get into the Week 8 locks. We've got a Tuesday game here. Sam Houston 0-6 against FIU 3-4. There was a little bit of drama at that FIU game last week. They had a Lambo on the field somehow. Conference USA action. I like Sam Houston at home to get rid of that 0-6 streak, get their first FBS win there. Then JMU at Marshall. Marshall coming off a tough loss. JMU 6-0. Both of these teams have an ACC win. I like Marshall to win this one. I think it'll be a great environment despite this last loss by Marshall. They're welcoming in an undefeated team. It will be hostile. I like Marshall to win that one. Then Oklahoma State at West Virginia. West Virginia coming off a heartbreaking loss to Houston on that Thursday. That was a crazy game. You guys should definitely check out the highlights of that ending if you haven't already. Against Oklahoma State, that has kind of retooled themselves. I like West Virginia in kind of a letdown spot for Oklahoma State and a bounce back effect for West Virginia here. And then our lock of the week on the first slide this time, Utah at USC. We're hammering USC minus 4.5. This one's already up to 5. I don't think Cam Rising is playing this whole season. We'll see if they bring him out of the shed for this game because he's literally been questionable for every game. I'm starting to not buy it. I have a lock on USC here. I think Caleb Williams, at least he bounces back, delivers another Heisman level performance. I think that the Coliseum will be rocking for this one. Utah on the road. This is a revenge spot similar to Tennessee against South Carolina that we saw a couple of weeks ago. This could be as raucous an environment as you've seen at USC in a while. I like Caleb to go off in this offense to carry them to a win by more than 4.5. It is a little bit of a sticky number, but I like USC there. Then Penn State at Ohio State. Penn State's been pretty much game planning for this one for 2 weeks now. Got that win over UMass. Ohio State also got a pretty easy one on the road last week. I think Penn State will have a good game plan, but I don't think Drew Aller will be able to get it done. This could be a surprisingly low-scoring game, though, but we'll have to see what happens there. That's definitely the game of the week. And then Duke at Florida State. I'm just going to take Florida State here. I think the home environment will be too much for Duke. They have yet to face a real reality test on the road. You know, they could have easily be undefeated right now if they just beat Notre Dame and didn't really choke that game away. But either way, they're undefeated in ACC play, right in the thick of it. But I think that changes on Saturday in a big one for the ACC championship picture. Second slide here. Washington State, what a game, getting blown out by Arizona. Sneaky Arizona team gets 3 more Pac-12 contenders after they've already played USC, Washington, and Wazoo. Wazoo drops out of the rankings, and I'm going to take Oregon in a bounce-back spot. This spread's 20. I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon covers it, but I don't think Cam Ward will just fade out of the picture that much. I think that he will deliver a better performance, but they just had nothing against Arizona. It was quite shocking, to be honest. Tennessee at Bama, third Saturday in October, always a big one. And Alabama is sneakily rising up my rankings a lot here. I like Bama to win big. The spread is big, and Tennessee just isn't that good. This is another revenge spot similar to Utah at USC. Getting right from last year, Bryant Denny will be rocking. I like Crimson Tide to get it done there. Then Mississippi State at Arkansas, absolutely must win for Sam Pittman in this Arkansas squad. 2-5, but 4 weeks in a row without a home game is insane and brutal, and they were against the best competition in the SEC. Arkansas's out of it, so is Mississippi State. I like the Hogs at home. I think KJ, the boys will get it done. We'll see if Rocket Sanders will play in this game, let alone this season, but I like Arkansas to return home. We'll see what the fan environment will be. I can't say with confidence that it'll be great, but I think Arkansas is the better team here. And Ole Miss in a sticky one at Auburn. I'm putting it, this is like an 8 on the upset meter, but I'm going with Ole Miss in a tricky one. I think that Auburn's defense will be able to hold them, but I like Ole Miss, Jackson Dart, and Quinshon Judkins to get it done in what could be a good battle there. It's always hard in Jordan Hare. Texas Tech at BYU. I like BYU outright in this one. Both teams have had a pretty difficult road, but I like BYU to get it done here. TCU at K-State. K-State really started to figure it out. New quarterback at Texas Tech. Ignited it. Lots of rushing, and I like this new offense. TCU, the wheels are just falling off for them. I like K-State in Manhattan, Kansas. And then I talked about it. We'll be talking about this Clemson-Miami game. I like Miami off the double bounce back here. Really should not have lost to Georgia Tech. I'm really not factoring that in as a loss. Can't say the fan environment will be great either. Clemson's also an underratedly good team. The winner of this game is a pretty good team, even if the public may not want to admit it. Miami 0-2 in ACC play is just brutal, and they have to go to Florida State later. Big game for Mario Cristobal here. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and comment your predictions below.